much time. You see, something's going to happen. You must leave. What? What's going to happen?
Not that we'll mistake them for the truth. The real danger is that if we hear enough lies, then we no longer recognize the truth at all.
Why would I have anything to say to you? All you do is lie.
What else is left but to abandon even the hope of truth and content ourselves instead with stories?
It's the role of good journalism to take on powerful abuses. And when powerful abuses are taken on, there is always a back reaction.
Take an animal virus and you increase its transmissibility to humans. Right. You're saying that's not gain of function?
That is correct. And Senator Paul, you do not know what you are talking about, quite frankly. And I want to say that officially.
When you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people. Go ahead.
About is the reality of goodness, not the perception of it. And what I see all over the place is people who care about looking good while doing evil. Fuck them. Okay?
Welcome back, glorious citizens of Habbening Stan. Yes, it's me once again, Donald Trump, your favorite president, the bestest president, the best president that you've ever had, possibly the best president in the history of the entire universe. I didn't say that. Other people say that. I'm here tonight once again to give you a very, very special message. I don't want to hear anything more about that jerk, that creep, Jeffrey Epstein. People are still talking about him. Look, it's over. It's done. Do you realize how much shit I got from the Israelis over this? Look, it's over. It's done. Focus on more important things. The deportations, the economy, best economy that we've ever had. Look, you're never going to stop the government being run by shady blackmail rings with connections to Israel. You're not even supposed to say that. Do you want me to go the way that JFK did? I don't want that. I don't think you want that. I don't think anybody wants that. They nearly got me once. Look, you got to choose what battles to fight. And I know I said I'd drain the swamp. I know I said I'd get in there and reform the deep state. But have you actually met any of the people from the deep state? They're very scary. They're very, very scary people. I mean, you know, you think the The Haitian migrants are bad. That's nothing compared to the deep state, right? As Schumer said, they got 6.5 million ways of getting back at you, and I don't really need that noise. I'm trying to negotiate a peace deal in the Middle East. I'm trying to assist the Israelis solve the Palestinian question. Don't think too hard about that, okay? It's the best question. So I don't say that. Other people say that. The Palestinians, they're gonna have a great time once Gaza is cleansed. Renewed. Rebuilt. Gaza will be like a theme park. It'll be like casinos and hotels and water slides. It'll be great. All the little amputee children will have solid gold prosthetics, which the U.S. taxpayer will pay for. But that's fine. We'll have tons and tons of money from the tariffs. All the little Palestinian children will be wandering around with golden prosthetics, steady jobs, dealing blackjack or serving cocktails beside the pool. It'll be great. It will be great. So, in finishing, I don't want to hear any more about Epstein. The Attorney General said there's nothing behind it. I trust her. I trust her with my life, just like the people that threatened to kill me. Look, I know that I said that being the President of the United States was the most powerful position in the world, but quite frankly, that's bullshit. Everybody knows it's bullshit. It hasn't been true since JFK took back into the left in Dealey Plaza. And it sent a very strong message, the best message. I don't say that. My handlers say that. And if you don't want to wind up like JFK, then you don't rock the boat too much, right? You got to know what side of your matzah is buttered. And, you just got to go with the flow. So I don't want to hear any more stuff about Epstein. And for you people who are still going on about it, you're not real MAGA. You're not real MAGA. Look at me. I'm your hero, Donald Trump, and I'm telling you to drop it. I'm telling you to drop it. Now's the time. You need to focus on the economy and on the deportations and not deeper questions about governance in general in America. It's too complicated to fix, quite frankly. I've only really got 4 years. If you think about it too hard, you might say, is it really appropriate that we change leaders every 4 years? What can really be get done? But don't think about that. Don't think about that. We have the bestest system. I don't say that. I mean, I do say that, but other people also say that. So thank you very much. That's it for me. Donald J. Trump, don't think about the Epstein files. Thank you. God bless America, and good night. Welcome back, everybody. It's Monday night. You know what that means. It's time for another Habbening TV. Thank you very much for President Trump appearing live via brain chip right there. He's a hard man to get hold of. But, I've got my secret line to the White House, that Mossad organized for me. And, he's always very, very happy to appear on the show. Very, very nice of him. So, look, it's been said. It's been said, bros. Don't talk about Epstein anymore, right? Look, it's nothing burger. Don't look back in anger. It was a long time ago. Perhaps we could, focus on, other stuff, like Israel, or Iran, or Yemen, or the deportation. I mean, okay, to be frank, I think there is sort of at least a partial argument to be made for this, right? Deportations sort of, by themselves and economic growth are probably likely to do much more for the average American than reforming the entire corrupt government system, which would probably necessitate a complete collapse in governance anyway. I don't know. But, so this revelation has revealed a big split in MAGA. Oh no, MAGA bros. Oh my God, no. So, it's sort of like a war between the Make America Great Again guys and the Make Israel Great Again guys. I know which side I'm on. Obviously. Pay me now. So yes, there's like a fight between MAGA. James Lindsay, of course, that incredibly incisive political commentator, said that he knew that this was coming all along and that the entire thing is in fact a dialectical inversion designed to split MAGA and usher in totalitarianism. In another note, James Lindsay also did say that different flavors of jam were a dialectical inversion, designed to bring about the downfall of Western civilization. But he's very, very serious about the thing about the jam. Bros. So yes, that's basically what's going on. That's our first story tonight. Our second story of the night is another Trump one. Trump's in the news today. He's large, he's big and large and in charge. He's basically said, Russia has 50 days to end the war in Ukraine. That's it. 50 days. 50 to wrap it up. I'm tired. We've got a war with Iran to get on. I'm not actually like joking. There is a sort of part of U.S. military doctrine apparently, which is called sequencing, right? Which is basically this idea that, well, if we can't fight two major theater wars at the same time, we could just sort of like shuffle between them. Turn one on, turn one off, turn one on, turn one off. And clearly, they've got that war with Iran sort of cooking in the background, right? So they want this Ukraine thing done. Putla, of course, took some time out from torturing babies and drawing swastikas inside the Kremlin to basically say that, our objectives in Ukraine haven't changed. This is a weird thing that I notice about the Americans and the Europeans. The Russians will basically say, these are our objectives, these are our conditions for, ending the war, right? They haven't changed in, a year and a half, right? And then the Americans will come along, or the Europeans will come along and be like, hey, how about we do this thing that does not fulfill your objectives, right? And then act, really surprised when the Russians are like, yeah, but that doesn't fulfill our objectives. I don't know, right? It's probably for, they're probably, I don't know. Maybe the West is just used to people just saying stuff and having no convictions. And, when they come up against the Russians and, they're like, well, how much money can we pay you? And it's not about money, right? And they'd be like, what do you mean it's not about money? Everything is about, it's not about money. What, are you crazy? I don't know. Anyway, the Ukraine war is rumbling on. Trump has basically said he's given Putin a 50-day deadline to end the war. What the fuck does that mean, right? Honestly, what the fuck does that even mean, right? Does that mean it's 50 days for the Russians to propose a ceasefire, right? Who says the Ukrainians will even accept a ceasefire, right? Up until this point, every single time the Ukrainians have been offered a ceasefire, they've said, we're not going to have a ceasefire until Russia returns all of the territory, including Crimea, right? Which is clearly not going to happen. So I don't know, right? Trump is basically saying that he wants to put secondary tariffs, so of 500%. So I presume this means that he will start tariffing, effectively sanctioning other countries that deal with Russia, the sort of nuclear option. The problem is that is about half of the planet, right? Sanctions are one of those sort of weird, tricky things. It's like that old saying, right? If you owe the bank $100,000, you have a problem. If you owe the bank $100 billion, it's the bank that has the problem, right? So sanctions are one of these things, right? If you do them too hard, it can, but look, it's probably fine. It's probably fine. Or maybe it's just all bullshit, right? And, anyway, they're shipping more missiles to Ukraine. But don't worry, Ameri Bros. It is the European taxpayer that is paying for them by buying them from the Americans. So, so that's great. Apparently the Europeans are very, very, very keen on the Ukraine war. Why? Because they have to defend Ukraine. Why? Don't worry about it. And our final story tonight, in more of the stupidity that is currently engulfing the United Kingdom, of which there is a lot, the Labour government has floated the idea of government-run restaurants. Because everybody's so fucking poor, right? And everything's now so expensive, people can't afford anything. So the government's like, what if we ran government restaurants? I suspect what basically happened was that someone saw that idea that the Democratic New York mayor hopeful, Mandami or whatever his name is, right? It was about government-run grocery stores. And someone was like, hey, why don't we try this here? I've never studied history. I have no idea how this could in any way go wrong. So yes, that's basically what we've got on the menu for tonight. hope you much enjoyment. Let's have a look. So I don't know what's wrong with my mouth tonight. Let's have a say hello to everybody in the chat on Rumble. Origin Party, Yiz the Eunuch. I will be on Discord and Dragons tonight with, I don't know who else is on. Who else is on, Yiz? Come along. Mikey Bikey, Solid Gold Prosthetics. Sounds like a great name for a band. That is a good name for a band, mate. Or like a concept album. Yes, I like it. I like it. Sadie Sapiente, good to see you. Total Blackout Painting, great to see you, mate. Captain Crisps, good to see you too. And Mikey Bikey. Oh, we already said Mikey Bikey, right. On YouTube, we have Robert Verlinden, Arakeen Green Moon, Lynch Mob, Cyber Chud, Internal Affairs. Greetings, Sir Chud. Simon JJ, great to see you, Simon. James Cole, Lynch Mob. Anybody else? Otto Stormheart. Jawohl, Herr Stormheart. Is that everybody? I think that's everybody. Apologies if I missed anyone. And on Odyssey, we have Machine for Baked Beans. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Right. You guys talking about Sargon. Yes, Carl's father is Caribbean. He's a hopper. You didn't know that? Yeah. It's one of the reasons why he's a bit, the way he is. Okay, so 2 days meme, of course. FBI monitoring my activity. My VPN location set to Epstein Island, so they no longer care what I do. Modern problems require modern solutions, bros. Oh, that's right. Yes, he's a quadroon. Robert Villain. Yes, that's right. That's right. He's a quadroon. That's correct. But I think Murdoch actually covered that in their Sargon episode. Right. Let's get on to the news. So we started with Trump has been taking a lot of heat in the last couple of days by the by the woke right, the part of MAGA that isn't really MAGA, that is concerned that large parts of the government are in fact run by shadowy networks backed by foreign blackmail. A totally absurd proposition. I challenge you to find even one piece of proof that exists. By proof, of course, it must be something that would be, accepted by the people doing the blackmailing, right? So, it's like that old thing, right? Like all scientists agree. You find a scientist who disagrees, you just silence him, and suddenly all scientists agree, right? Let's see, what else have we got? Right, so Trump got ratioed on his own platform for the first time ever. Oh my God. I mean, it wasn't a very big ratio. It was like, 15.1 to 15.6 kind of thing. But he took to truth. He truthed it out of his truth hole. He strained and he groaned, and a truth popped out into the truthiverse, into the truth bowl, as it were. Ew. I do the best truths, the biggest truth. Mummy said, I do the biggest truths that there is. I'll do the voice, even though this is like a long one. What's going on with my boys, and in some cases gals? They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who is doing a fantastic job. We're on one team, MAGA, and I don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration, the talk of the world, and selfish people are trying to hurt it, all over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. Now, I expect the QAnon people like, see, Trump just confirmed that Epstein is in fact still alive, right? Look, you gotta read these truths very, 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 very closely, for the special QAnon kind of stuff, right? For years, it's been Epstein over and over again. Mr. Trump, part of the reason why it's been Epstein over and over again is because you and your administration have been talking this up. I mean, look, I know it was like a good populist talking point, right? But you can't feed that whole thing and then turn around and be like, what did I do? What are you like? When I I get into office, I will give you all double stuffed beef bacon burgers. And then he gets into office. Look, yes, it's a nothing burger, but I never said that there would be beef. It's a nothing burger. That's in the name. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration who conned the world with Russia hoax, 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, and more? So he's just pulling out like all of his greatest hits, basically, right? Like this is Trump's greatest hits debunking album. I'm feeling like the Fell for It Again award guys are kind of on to something here. They created the Epstein files, just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton Christopher Steele dossier that they used on me, and now my so-called friends are playing right into their hands. So Trump is basically saying the Epstein files was created by the Democrats. I find that hard to believe, given the number of Democrats that were in said files, but you know, right? Whatever. Excuse me. If there was anything in there that they could have used to hurt the MAGA movement, it's the best movement. Why didn't they use it? They haven't even given up on the John F. Kennedy or Martin Luther King files. No matter how much success we've had, securing the border, deporting criminals, fixing the economy, energy dominance, a safer world where Iran will not have nuclear weapons. Israel can send me a check for that one. It's never enough for some people. You're ungrateful, MAGA. That's the problem. You're ungrateful. You're ungrateful little children. You little bitches. We're about to achieve more in 6 months than any other administration has achieved in over 100 years, and we have so much more to do. We are saving our country and making America great again, which will continue to be our complete priority. The left is imploding. Kash Patel and the FBI must be focused on investigating voter fraud, political corruption, Act Blue, the rigged and stolen elections of 2020, and arresting thugs and criminals. Oh my God, this really goes on. Yeah, I'm just gonna like summarize this. Let Pam Bondi do her job. She's great. The 2020 election was rigged and stolen. 1 year ago, our country was dead, and now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. Let's keep it that way and not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, somebody that nobody cares about. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Oh, President Trump, Christopher Carrion, Newsfist News. You may have heard of us. We're very, very famous. Would you care to comment on the deeper implications for American governance and the general idea that one of the reasons why Congress, the Senate, and other senior political structures in your government seem so far removed from the cares of ordinary people, and the suspicion that many people have that this is driven by money and blackmail? Apparently, Trump will not be responding to that question, and I may now be dragged out the back and shot. So people do care about this. They care about this a lot. Because of what it says about how power works, and I think also because power is very opaque to most people on the ground. And this is one of the problems with democracy, is that you start sort of getting this, like, because power is really always opaque to people who have no knowledge of it, right? Like, you know, it's a bit like politics, right? It's a specialized vocation, and when you start telling like everyone that, you know, you too can be a part of politics, no, you can't, right? Like, it's not for everyone, right? It's like, it's a specialty tool, it's a specialty field, right? It's like saying like everyone can be like a quantum engineer. It doesn't work that way, right? So of course, the MAGA bots, the megabots, leapt to Trump's defense. Beware of fake MAGA influencers spreading lies to turn you against Donald Trump. These frauds are trying to divide us. Unfollow them and stick with true supporters who stand for the real MAGA movement. Should we compile a list of these controlled infiltrators sowing division against the Trump administration? Yeah, I mean, look, you know, if you study political history, you know, this is pretty much part of the course. This was bound to happen sooner or later, right? Let's see, what else we got? Charlie Kirk, of course, is basically saying, look, I trust the government. I trust Trump. All right. If he says there's nothing to it, there's nothing to it. And look, as I said, right, like this is not an entirely retarded argument, right? Like I know a lot of people will be like, the pedophiles in the government. Look, would you rather less illegals, right? Higher wages, lower inflation, right? And like a generally sort of like better like country that like stuff that actually affects you, right? Or would you rather start like a shadow war with Mossad and the Illuminati, in which case none of this shit that Trump wants to get done is ever going to get done? Because those are basically your options, right? Shadow war or some economic prosperity. Take your pick, because that's how it goes, right?
Honestly, I'm done talking about Epstein for the time being. I'm going to trust my friends in the administration. I'm going to trust my friends in the government to do what needs to be done, solve it, balls in their hands. I've said plenty this last weekend. So if you guys want to see my commentary on it, that's fine. Honestly, I'm...
Yes, his balls are in their hands. Charlie, goodness me, I never knew you cared. Now, of course, this is the kind of stuff that a lot of people are basically saying. Dave Smith, obviously, the cover-up of Jeffrey Epstein is worse than the cover-up of Biden's dementia. Well, I mean, you know, I don't know. But this is the way a lot of people are feeling, right? Then there was the revelation that the FBI's raw Jeffrey Epstein prison video was likely modified. It turns out that it was actually ported into Adobe Premiere and then stitched together. Although I was correct, the missing minute is because it's an automated video system, and at 12 o'clock it like does a cache refresh, and so for like 1 minute. Now, of course, if you knew about that, then you'd have like a minute you could do stuff in, but you know, it's fine. However, bros, I have in fact, through very, very secret 4chan knowledge, managed to come across the actual unredacted Jeffrey Epstein prison tapes, and I will premiere them here. I was gonna save this for like the humor section, but honestly, like these are so great. Like, look at these. I love it. Oh man, AI is like funny as hell. Like seriously. Was it King Kong? Was it the Wolfman? Oh, dude. What else do we got here? It's the Kool-Aid. Oh, God. Oh, dude. Oh, mate. There's a whole 4chan thread of these, right? Like I just like honestly, it's real. It's just really, really funny. What else do we got? Dude. So people are basically like, you know, why didn't you just dump the raw video files? Why did you stitch them together in like Adobe Premiere? I don't know. I mean, yeah, I mean, it seems, I don't know. Is it sinister or is it retarded? How could you tell the difference, right? Dan Bongino seems particularly shooken up by all of this. I don't have a picture, but there's a bunch of pictures of him just looking very conflicted, basically. Just like, this is not what I signed up for. Tucker Carlson, who has been, quite frankly, he's been on fire recently, sums this up really, really quite well. Poor Senor Bongino.
Well, as we're recording this, Dan Bongino is threatening to resign if Pam Bondi does not resign as AG. What does that tell us, in your opinion?
Well, it tells us that Dan Bongino got shafted, completely shafted. And I'm saying this as a friend of his and someone who respects and likes him, but also just as an observer, an informed observer of it. So Pam Bondi, who's, by the way, I don't hate Pam Bondi. She's a totally nice person. If she was here, you would enjoy, I don't know if you know her, but she's a very nice person. I'm not against Pam Bondi in the slightest. But the fact is, she got on television on Fox News and started saying stuff like, I've got the client list on my desk. And actually, no, you don't. And I've got thousands of videos of Epstein having sex with kids. Well, actually, no, you don't. Most of the material was commercial porn taken off his computer. Like, that's just not true. Why did she say that? Probably because she's insecure and she's trying to please the audience, I would expect.
Do you think Dan is upset because his integrity is being questioned now over her mistakes?
Oh, my gosh. So you're Dan, and you're a media figure, and you've got one of the biggest podcasts in the country, and you're making tons of money, and you're having a great time, which he was. You just built this brand new studio in Florida. You work with your wife, who you really like, which she does. And you get the call saying you'd be deputy FBI director, and you're like, I love Donald Trump. I love this country. I will, cut my pay by, into a tenth of what it was, and I will leave my house and move to D.C., which is a kind of prison sentence itself. And I will do this because I love the president, I love the country. And you're there a few months, and all of a sudden, everybody thinks you're covering up Epstein's crimes. And it kind of wrecks Dan's career. Like, he can't go back. It's going to be very hard at this point. I mean, things may change, but as of today, pretty hard for Dan to go back to his podcast audience and be like, I'm telling you the truth, when they all think that he's covering up for Epstein. Who did that? Pam Bondi did that. And I don't know that she did it on purpose. I'm assuming not. I don't think she's a mean person. I've never gotten that sense. But for whatever reason, she went out there and said things that were not true, that she could not back up. And then they issued this memo thinking that it would clear everything up.
That was embarrassing.
And I guess they're just so dumb, they didn't realize that if you tell everybody you have the tapes of these crimes and then you issue a memo saying you're not going to prosecute anybody for the crimes, what are you saying? I'm covering up for the perpetrators of these crimes. Duh. They have no one with an IQ over 80 over there to read the memos? Are you kidding? I'm not exactly sure how that happened, but I do know that it leaves a guy like Dan in a horrible position.
Yeah.
And he loves Trump. And I don't think Trump had any knowledge of any of this at the detail level. And so he doesn't, what do you do if you're Dan Bongino? I feel for him. What is Trump going to do? I don't know. I do think that I think they know that they have to do something. I think it's absolutely fair to ask, to what extent was Epstein involved in a foreign intelligence operation on our soil? This is our country. This country doesn't belong to any foreign country. Okay, this is our country. I was born here. I pay taxes here. So if some foreign country, I don't care if...
Oh, that sounds a bit racist to me, Tucker. Right? Like, what even is an America? An American, bro. America's like a propositional nation, bro. It's just an idea, right? Like, come on, Tucker. You just... hear the left being like, no, Tucker, no.
If you claim it's our ally or not, is running an intel operation on my soil, I have a right to know what that was. And don't make me feel like I'm some kind of Nazi for asking. I'm an American. I have an absolute right to know that. And that is what is being covered up because it makes everyone so uncomfortable.
Now, see, shit like this is why I love the Americans. God bless you, bros. There's no one in the UK who be like fucking like saying that. Like, it's perfectly appropriate for me to ask this question. You could all get fucked, right? The government just be like, hate crime. You might, you don't want to do it. You don't want to do a hate crime, right? Pre-crime squad will be like up inside ya. Now, around the same time that this dropped, James O'Keefe got undercover footage of an FBI agent basically saying, oh yeah, we missed a whole bunch of like stuff with the Epstein trial. But is the sound okay, by the way? Arden, I know you were saying it was like echoing. Is it off? I don't know what the fuck's up with these sound drivers. Like, honestly, just I've got to turn it off, and then like I lose like my volume meter. So just echo is gone. Right. No, thank you. Thank you, Arden. I appreciate that.
I'm with FBI. So show.
Small coincidence, but I've been watching the Epstein documentary.
Oh yeah, it's just messy. Like you can see where law enforcement kind of either turn a blind eye or like miss things. And
you've seen the news that Deputy Director Dan Bongino of the FBI is going to resign. Breaking news here at OMG, we've obtained audio of a current FBI agent. This is Deputy Senior National Intelligence Officer Rami Hassan of the FBI saying it is a, quote, shit show.
I'm with FBI. It's a shit show. I do a lot of kind of like countering white supremacy things. Although the last 2.5 years I was at the White House. Yeah, and then kind of got moved back after with the new administration coming in. But yeah,
it's a small coincidence, but I've been watching the Epstein documentary.
When they were trying to release some of the files, like the White House was.
Oh yeah, it looks kind of messy.
Oh yeah, it's just messy. Like, because they even invited some of like the the influencers and like right-wing bloggers and to release the files. It's like, that seems a little weird. Just release it online.
Hassan confesses that law enforcement at the FBI, quote, turned a blind eye and, quote, missed things regarding the Jeffrey Epstein case.
Oh, you're kidding. Well, I am literally for the first time just hearing this. What's your evidence that there's anything to the Epstein files, huh? What is your source? Well, there is this guy from the FBI who literally says that they completely fucked it up. Fuck me.
You can see where law enforcement kind of either turn a blind eye or like miss things, and there's opportunities just from like hearing and listening.
You don't think something happened to him?
But I think he just killed himself. I mean, even the FBI came out and said he killed himself. I'm like, oh, okay. Not big on the conspiracy theories. Yeah.
We're calling the series FBI Leaks. They always.
Yes. Thank you, James O'Keefe. I'm running out a bit of time. So this is Tim Dillon. Unironically, I think he's got one of the more intelligent takes on this, to be perfectly frank.
I think Trump knows they'll kill him. I think Trump knows that they'll kill him. I think he does. Truly, I believe he knows that. I believe he knows that the people that killed all of those people would find a way to kill him if this came out. I believe that he knows that. I believe he believes that some faction of those people tried to kill him already. Don't quite know who, but I believe that is what he believes. I don't know that. I don't have any information on that. You know, like I can't tell you, like, it's not like like someone told me that. I don't know what else evidence-wise you would need. I think Trump likes living. I think he's got a lot of good things about him and some bad things, but I don't know that he's a selfless hero. I don't know if you look at his life. I mean, yes, he's done a lot. You know, Bannon talks about, you know, the hero's journey or whatever, pumping the fist. All that's incredibly impressive. I don't know if he's dying for this.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think honestly, this is probably the correct take, right? Like, Trump's got to choose his battles, and battling the Illuminati, he's not going to be able to do that at the same time as actually like reforming the domestic agenda. And perhaps he's cut a deal with the Illuminati, right? And just said, like, use this whole thing as leverage, right? Like, we don't know what Trump might have gotten in return for America, right? In return for this, right? He could have very easily said, right, okay, Mr. Illuminati Stein, I won't drop you all in the shit, but in return, right, I want, the following things, right? You gotta, you gotta let me replace the Federal Reserve chair, and I've got no idea, right? But I'm just saying it's a thought. Tucker, again, is this really pissed off a lot of the right people. Trump was at the Turning Point USA thing. Check this out.
Not acceptable. And I think the real answer is Jeffrey Epstein was working on behalf of intel services, probably not American. And we have every right to ask, on whose behalf was he working? How does a guy go from being a math teacher at the Dalton School in the late 70s with no college degree to having multiple airplanes, a private island, and the largest residential house in Manhattan? Where did all the money come from? And no one has ever gotten to the bottom of that because no one has ever tried. And moreover, it's extremely obvious to anyone who watches that this guy had direct connections to a foreign government. Now, no one's allowed to say that that foreign government is Israel because we have been somehow cowed into thinking that that's naughty. There is nothing wrong with saying that. There is nothing hateful about saying that. There's nothing anti-Semitic about saying that. There's nothing even anti-Israel about saying that. I've spent my entire life pretty much in Washington, where I knew and loved a number of people, including one very close person who worked at CIA. That has never prohibited me from saying, I think the CIA has done some horrible things, murdered a bunch of people, participated in the murder of a sitting U.S. president. It's got a whole trail of crimes. That doesn't make me a disloyal American. It doesn't make me anti-American in any sense. I was born here. My family's been here for hundreds of years. I love this country. That's why I live here. So criticizing the behavior of a government agency does not make you a hater. It makes you a free person. It makes you a citizen. You're allowed to do that because you're not a slave. You're a citizen. And you have a right to expect that your government will not act against your interests, and you have a right to demand that foreign governments not be allowed to act against your interests. That's not creepy. It shouldn't be forbidden. And yet all of us have trained ourselves to believe that you can't say that somehow.
I wish I could, like, frame this. Fuck. I wish I could frame this and speak and stick it on my wall. I don't know what's going on with my microphone switch. Right? Exactly, Tucker. Exactly.
But that's like too naughty and forbidden. And the effect of making that off limits has been to create a lot of resentment, and I'll say it, hate online, where people feel like they can't just say, like, what the hell is this? You have the former Israeli prime minister living in your house. You have had all this contact with the foreign government. Were you working on behalf of Mossad? Were you running a blackmail operation on behalf of foreign government? By the way, every single person in Washington, D.C. thinks that. I've never met anyone who doesn't think that. I don't know any of them that hate Israel, but no one feels they can say that. Why? And I think the longer that we play along with it, the more subterranean and creepy and hateful the conversation actually becomes. So I think it's better just to say it right out loud. Did this happen? And of course, that question has been asked to the government of Israel, and their answer is, we're not going to tell you. And I think our answer should be, no. As long as we're sending you money, if you were committing crimes on our soil, we have an absolute right to know, did you do this or not? And yet everybody has been so brainwashed into thinking that's somehow an expression of hate or bigotry, when it's not. It's a baseline question that every U.S. citizen has a right to an answer on. What the hell was this? And by the way, if it turns out that it was nothing...
Tucker, you gotta cool it with the anti-Semitic remarks there. This came out as well. Ghislaine Maxwell said that she's prepared to testify before Congress on the actual truth of the client list. I mean, I wouldn't trust her as far as I could throw her, honestly. Apparently, the Republicans are blocking this effort. I mean, you know, this seems very dangerous. Like, who knows what she's going to say. Former Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett came out as a former Israeli Prime Minister with the Mossad having reported directly to me. Oh, yeah, because there's never been, like, a time in history where intelligence agencies have, like, kept shit from the fucking Prime Minister. Jesus Christ. I say to you with 100% certainty The accusation that Jeffrey Epstein somehow worked for Israel or the Mossad running a blackmail ring is categorically and totally false. Now, you know that thing they say about covert operations, right? That nothing is ever true until it has been categorically denied. So all the based intelligence agency watchers are basically right. Well, that's basically a confirmation, right? Epstein's conduct, both the criminal and merely despicable, had nothing whatsoever to do with Mossad or the state of Israel. Actually, probably wouldn't have the New York accent. I'd probably learn to do a proper Israeli accent. Epstein never worked for the Mossad. This accusation is a lie being peddled by prominent online personalities such as Tucker Carlson, pretending they know things that they don't. Okay? They just make things up. Say it with confidence, and these lies stick because it's Israel. Aw, damn. That must be really bad for Israel, because if there's one thing they literally never ever do is make things up, say it with confidence, and get the lies to stick. That's terrible. There's a vicious wave of slander and lies against my country and my people, and we just won't take it anymore. Okay? On a completely unrelated note, here is literally Naftali Bennett, the former Israeli Prime Minister, holding a seminar on how Israelis can edit Wikipedia, right, for balance.
Moetzet Yesha, in conjunction with My Israel, has arranged Instruction Day for wiki editors. The goal of the day is to teach people how to edit in Wikipedia, which is the #1 source of information today in the world. As a way of example, if someone searches the Gaza flotilla, we want to be there. We want to be the guys who influence what is written there, how it's written, and to ensure that it's balanced and Zionist in nature.
I came here to learn more about how we as Israelis and as Jews can defend Israel online, on the internet, and particularly in Wikipedia in this case. Wikipedia is a bit of a complex system, and it's sometimes hard to figure out the rules. I've personally tried to edit things in Wikipedia that were against Israel, small things, and my changes were erased or undone, and I didn't understand why. And I think that this kind of knowledge is important for anyone who wants to be active in defending Israel on the internet.
Yeah, so, clearly a bastion of truth right there. Fucking hell, I'm running late. Apparently anti-Semitism is now normalized in Britain according to the UK government. Therefore, Judaism should now be recognized as an ethnicity, meaning that, Jews would get all of the sort of basically the same client rights, or ideally more client rights, than, blacks and the gays and all that kind of other stuff, which is funny because I thought they already did, which is why they managed to remove the leader of the opposition, Jeremy Corbyn, and a number of sitting MPs. But, what would I know, right? Right, so our second story of the night. Fucking hell, I'm running late. Trump confirms new weapons deal for Ukraine and threatens severe tariffs. Oh, wait. Before we get on to that, please donate super chats, all that kind of other stuff. Therapy beers, much appreciated. I have to live in London, and quite frankly, my therapy beer costs are spiraling.
We need Earth monies to appear as normal Earth pigs. Mini Moose, how much have we earned?
Linky in the description. Come on over to Entropy. Send a super chat. It will do your soul good. Probably. Something like that. So the US, Trump says that the US will make weapons, including Patriots, but Europe will fund them for Ukraine during meeting with NATO chief Mark Rutte. So now we know what all of that stuff about increasing military spending to 5% of GDP with more US weapons. I mean, if you're gonna keep doing this war, you may as well buy weapons from us. We gotta make some money. Trump is apparently still positive he can get the Ukraine deal done. and he's trying to bring Putin to the negotiating table. I don't know how this is going to work, right? Oh, my audio's cutting in and out. Fucking thanks, Years. I don't know what the fuck's going on with it. I think my Stream Deck is dying, which sucks ass because I'd have to fucking get a new one. Wait, where was I? Right. Yeah, Europe's going to pay for the military equipment. He's going to impose very tough tariffs if a deal is not reached within 50 days. He said he's not sure about the need to pass a bill on sanctions because he could just basically use tariffs instead of sanctions and jack the tariff prices up to like 500%.
It's a real mess. We're losing, I guess they're losing 5,000 or 6,000 people a day. It's actually now more. I was saying 5,000 a day. It's actually more now. Mostly soldiers, but a lot of people in cities and towns that are getting blown up too. It's a horrible war, and it should be stopped. And so if it's not done, if we don't have an agreement in 50 days, that's what we're doing. Secondary tariffs, and they're biting. And I hope we don't get to the point where we do, but I've been hearing so much talk. It's all talk. It's all talk, and then missiles go into Kiev and kill 60 people. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. But
I do want to point something out, though, right? Russia is apparently firing like 500 drones a day or some insane number into Ukraine, right? If they're only killing like, you know, a few people a day, this is clear indication they're not targeting civilian areas, right? Because you could just, if you wanted to target civilian areas, you could just target an area that was full of apartment blocks and your kill rate would be in the thousands very, very quickly. So, I don't know. I don't know.
The purpose of this is to say that this is a very big deal we've made. This is billions of dollars worth of military equipment is going to be purchased from the United States, going to NATO, etc. And that's going to be quickly distributed to the battlefield. Ukraine will take it up. And, you know, say what you want about Ukraine. When the war started, they had no chance. And they still would have had no chance if the equipment, they had the best equipment, because we do make the best planes and missiles, and we make the best military equipment in the world by far. You know, we have new things coming out that are beyond.
Yeah. America's the best. It's like awesome. We've got like the best weapons. What else have we got? Trump got salty when asked about, you know, what's he going to do if the Russians basically tell him to fuck off?
If Putin escalates further, how far are you willing to go in response?
In what?
How far are you willing to go if Putin were to escalate, send more bombs in the coming days?
Don't ask me a question like that. How far? I want to get the war settled. They're not Americans that are dying in it, and you know, I have a problem, and JD has a problem. It's a stance that he's had for a long time. They're not Americans dying, but there are a lot of people dying, and on something that should be able to be settled. And we all agree with that. This group of people, you know, we want to defend our country, but you know.
If Putin escalates.
So, I mean, I don't know. I reckon the Russians are going to. Putin's probably going to like get on the phone and give him like a long history lecture. So yeah, apparently they're gonna give Ukraine everything, all the missiles. So I presume that for the moment, the Iran-Israel war is basically on ice. I don't know whether this is to do with the 50-day deadline. You know, he's like, look, we've got to get this like resolved. We've got a war with Iran to like prosecute.
Will these be Patriot missiles specifically, or Patriot batteries that you're planning? And
Everything.
when do you
everything? It's Patriots. It's all of them. It's a full complement with the batteries.
And when do you expect them to arrive in Ukraine, sir?
Well, we're going to have some come very soon, within days, actually. Because a couple of the countries that have Patriots are going to swap over, and will replace the Patriots with the ones they have, and Matt will coordinate with NATO. But so it's going to be, they're going to start arriving very soon.
And this afternoon, Boris Pistorius, the German defense minister, is visiting Pete Hegseth.
the Secretary of Defense, and we'll discuss also, I think, on this whole Patriot thing. Norway is involved, so that's on the Patriots, but this whole deal is also about missiles or ammunition, so it's broader than Patriots.
We have one.
Will these be Patriot missiles?
So yes, they're going to give them all the missiles. Now there's been like some other weird stories floating around that France and the UK are preparing a 50,000 person peacekeeping force to send to Ukraine once a peace deal is finalized. I don't know when that's going to be. The Russians are not going to be happy about that. This is just some weird news site, but I did hear this from like a more reliable source. Oh yeah, here it is. This is the actual UK government statement. Statement on the Coalition of the Willing, meeting by leaders of the United Kingdom, France, and Ukraine. Today, the leaders of the member states and international organizations of the Coalition of the Willing. Oh, couldn't you have picked a better name? Fuck. Gathered in London, Rome, and virtually to discuss strengthening support to Ukraine and further pressure on Russia. I think it says something about the peacekeeping force in here. Here we go. They welcome the development of mature operational plans to deploy a reassurance force. What's a reassurance force? Well, basically, they go into the Ukraine, they just walk around being like, you're doing great, guys. You're doing great. We're here to reassure you, right? They don't actually do anything. They just, walk around like, they deploy like a bunch of work therapists and stuff, right? And be like, we're just here to reassure you, bros. You're going to do great. Look, there's still like some Ukrainians you haven't killed yet. Come on, up you go. Up you go, right? Once hostilities have ceased. When, right? So like the West is very, very clearly like, they actually want a peace deal. I don't know whether Zelensky's going to play along with this, to be perfectly frank. Given his general track record, I imagine he'll be saying like, yes, Slava Ukraine, I want a peace. And then at some crucial moment, he'll turn around and be like, no, actually, fuck you, Russia, fuck you, right? And like the whole thing that they've spent like months negotiating will like just blow up, right? Help secure Ukraine's skies and seas and regenerate Ukraine's armed forces. Right, so they're planning on putting ships and airplanes into Ukraine and rebuilding Ukraine's armed forces. All of these are completely opposite to Russia's stated red lines. So I don't see how they're going to get a peace deal with the Russians doing this, right? They welcome the establishment of a UK French-led operational headquarters to support planning activity. The commitments made by partners to contribute to the force, as well as Ukraine's readiness to issue an invitation to the force and enter into formal agreements with participating countries where necessary. So, I mean, and the UK and France are basically saying that they're going to coordinate their nuclear forces in response to the Russian threats. I don't know what the fuck that means, practically speaking. I just, it's probably, just cope, honestly. I don't know. However, some of you, right, might have been a bit worried about BlackRock. I know I worry about them a lot, right? I'm like, BlackRock bros, are you okay, right? Like, they need your help, bros, right? I like to donate to BlackRock, of course, whenever I can for all the good that they do in the world. And I was particularly worried, what would happen to BlackRock and all the stuff they bought in Ukraine that now the Russians have, including that huge lithium mine. Well, don't worry. The EU has stepped in to provide a backstop to BlackRock, right? So that if any of this stuff is profitable, BlackRock will get all the money, and if it goes tits up, the EU will pay. It's called a blended finance initiative.
The new partnership with Ukraine will also play a key role in boosting private sector investment. That will be critical to reconstruction. And we will be able to build on strong foundations. Volodymyr, I listened very carefully. You said we need a special reconstruction fund. I am particularly pleased to announce today the European Flagship Fund for the Reconstruction of Ukraine, the largest equity fund globally to support reconstruction. It will, together with the private sector, kickstart investment in energy, transport, critical raw materials, dual-use industries. We are literally taking a stake in Ukraine's future by leveraging public money to bring large-scale private sector's investments and help the rebuild of the country.
Now, of course, when she says she's leveraging public money, what she means is that the government will provide guarantees if it all goes tits up. As I said, if it makes money, then BlackRock gets the money. If it goes tits up, it's the EU governments that pay. Right, our final story. We're running a little bit late. It's literally Gulag Cafe in real life. I can't believe it, bros. Right, like this is the clowniest of clown worlds. I can't even tell. Labour's ludicrous state-funded restaurants plan sparks backlash. Restaurateurs grappling with tax rises deride the idea of Second World War-style diners. Apparently, Labour wants to make government-run restaurants, right? Like, don't, get rid of like net zero or any of that kind of like other stuff. No, start up like a whole bunch of governments, a whole bunch of restaurants that don't pay taxes and like, get like food cheap and then undercut the rest of the industry, right? And like make them all go out of business. You can't, I mean, the real question, of course, is will you be able to order from the government-run restaurant on Uber Eats and support your local refugee? I mean, right? Like, then I would feel doubly good, right? Not only would my taxes be going to like feed all of these like refugees, but I could also like pay them money to deliver, delicious slop straight to my door. I mean, Victorian Time Traveler, Newsfist, you've made the Gulag Cafe a real thing. I'm so proud of you. Thanks very much, mate. I know, right? Just what the actual fuck, right? Ministers said this week they were trialing the new state-funded restaurants that would serve meals for as little as $3. Oh my god! Imagine how fucking shit the food's going to be, right? Like it'll be like low fat, low sugar, right? Like it'll just be like a block of like soy or something like that. How do you want your soy? Like something with meat and cheese? No, meat is banned, cheese is banned, sugar is banned, fat is banned. We got soy block. Or, we've got some roach milk on the side. I bet if they do this, by the way, right, they'll use it as an opportunity to, like, prop up all those, like, fake meat, climate change food companies, right? They'll be like, you can get your government-subsidized Impossible Burger for only £3. What did it actually, like, cost? Well, it actually costs, like, £40. But the taxpayer is, like, paying for the rest of it, right? Delicious. I'll take a double bug milk with mine. Thank you very much. The diners, which have already received $1.5 million of taxpayer funding, so it's actually happening, will resemble the subsidized civic kitchens of the 1940s. Lord and saints preserve us. Here we go, and it's baked right in. Peter Kyle, the Science and Technology Secretary, said the aim was to actively explore the best ways to get healthy food into the mouths of those who need it. Seti Sapiente, you're back. Good to see you. The trial could lead to the launch of similar schemes if successful. Bloody hell. Fucking hell, right? I mean, this is just crazy. I can't believe, every single time things get worse and they're like, should we stop like making things worse, right? It's like, we're not making them worse. We're making them better. I mean, worse, but much ideologically better, right? So this is probably going to be like the death of any like pubs or restaurants in these like poor areas. But like, fuck them, right? Oh yeah, and so then there's this like weird sort of nanny state like thing where they want like restaurants to report on diners that are saying like spicy things. No, this is something different. So they want restaurants now to basically like run all the stuff they're serving by the government. They've had to have like calorie counts. They want to cut down on sugar and fat. And they want supermarkets to cut 100 calories from the average shopping basket. Why? Because it's the government. Fuck you, right? So, you know, what's 100 calories? Like, it's one banana. This is how it starts, obviously, right? They'll be like, people are still fat. Cut more from the food ration. Cut more from the food ration. Right, yes. Reducing calories, fat, salt, or sugar, or some combination of all four. Great. Just great. We're going to have, like, black market food. Like, pretty fucking soon, man, right? You'll be, like, people will be, like, importing chips from, like, Europe or something like that, right? Like, they'll import, like, Ruffles from the Netherlands. Be like, you got cheese and onion? Yeah, man. Yeah, bruv. I got cheese and onion in it. It's well harsh, bruv. Fuck me. Oh, my God. Yes, this is very wide-ranging in scope. Oh, fuck this country. Oh, my God. We have yet to understand how mandatory reporting and targets would change the obesity situation in the UK, but we're just going to do it anyway because, right, like, you know, we could just starve everyone, right? Fuck me, this country. And, oh, yeah, and there's a doctor's strike about to happen, by the way. Junior doctors, like, walking out because they're not, like, earning enough, despite getting, like, a 29% pay rise last year. It starts on July 25th. So, you know, so that's great. So don't get ill if you're in the UK. I mean, generally speaking, that's like good advice. But between July 25th and like July 30th, doubly, do not get ill. Right. That's all the news for tonight. It's very depressing. Is Entropy working, by the way? Or has it decided to like log me out or some bullshit? Oh, it's logged out. Oh, for fuck's sake. Right. I was wondering why I wasn't getting any entropies. Oh, fuck's sake. I hate it when Entropy just decides to like log me out for no particular reason. Oh, we got $3 from Mikey Bikey. Bugs are 0 calories. Thank you very much, Mikey Bikey. Oh, wait, has my Stream Deck just crashed? Okay, my Stream Deck has just crashed. I'll give you a smoking Pepe then, Mikey Bikey. Thank you very, very much, mate. I appreciate that. And you too can get a shout out by donating money on the Entropy, which will probably work now, hopefully, right? So you know what time it is, bros. It is time for some cringe. I know I said I wasn't going to do cringe for a bit, but there's just so much cringe to be had. I just, you know, I don't know what to do, right? Oh no, we're going to skip this. This is just another annoying Jewish guy, basically saying that immigration is great for the USA. Every single time, bros. Now, it turns out that after all the Supreme Court wrangling, Trump has managed to fire about 1,300 people from the State Department. Now, a lot of people are like, oh my God, there's such a lot of people. It's not. The State Department employs like 30,000 people. But I suspect that the people that they fired were probably the most annoying. And based upon the way that they were leaving, I could believe that because they're all like, resist fascism, all that fucking shit.
Been fired today, I just want to say I'm sorry. I think every single person, when you leave this building, you walk through out those doors for the final time, you should not do it out of humiliation and out of this type of weaponization of politics.
The free world must embrace its national foundations. It must not attempt to erase them or replace them. The truth is plain to see. If you want freedom, take pride in your country. If you want democracy, hold on to your sovereignty. And if you want peace, love your nation. Wise leaders always put the good of their own people and their own country first. The future does not belong to globalists. The future belongs to patriots. The future belongs to sovereign.
Base Trump there. That's from Mike Benz doing that edit. What the fuck is this? Rural Ameribros, your response.
Oh, MAGA, don't you understand? If we have another civil war, all the blue states will control all the fresh water. You guys don't think this through, do you?
And all the red states are going to control all of the food. You guys don't think this shit through, do you? It'll be fine. It will be fine, I'm sure. Yet another Paris What I want to know, how come these girls get to go around throwing the Roman, right? And it's perfectly acceptable. I thought that shit was like illegal. Apparently it's fine, right? As long as you get your kid off and paint your titties blue. Ew. Why can't they ever get any fit girls for this? It's okay. It's okay that it's on YouTube. It's for anti-fascism, right? So, you know, by definition, it's okay. Oh, my God. In case you're not aware of who Ed Miliband is, he is the author of The Misery That Is Net Zero. Every single time he's asked, like, what the effect of these policies are going to be, he basically just says, and just did it again, bros.
Lee Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. The statement from the Energy Secretary sounded like a desperate attempt to save his own job. But he's right. The British people do need protecting. They need protecting from the Energy Secretary, because businesses that I visit every single week say that his madcap ideas are killing growth, killing business and killing jobs. But I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt if he can answer one simple question which he's already refused to answer. By how much will the Earth's temperature be reduced by if the UK became net zero tomorrow? Simple question.
And the answer, which he just doesn't want to accept, is this. If he just listens, the answer is this: I believe in British leadership. I believe in Britain's ability to make a difference. And the truth is, when we, as I said in my statement, when we passed the Climate Change Act, 60 countries followed. When we legislated for net zero, many other countries followed. He talks Britain down. I believe in Britain.
And yes, he is a sombrero pequeño, as if you couldn't tell. Now, by the way, right, if Parliament was running properly, right, the Speaker would intervene at this point and say that he has to answer the question. But because the Speaker is owned by the Labour Party and all of the sort of like shit libs, he never does this, right? So this is one of the sort of features of Parliament at the moment, is you can ask a question and they're just not going to like answer you. The Speaker of the House is supposed to make sure that when a question is asked, you actually get an answer. But, you know, we live in a new world now. Now, this is pretty based. these are some old ads that aired like immediately after 9/11. I think I remember seeing one of these actually.
But personally, I am just so sick and tired of these taxes. Why do you always do this? You know, every time you get a paycheck now, most of it goes straight to the government.
Hey, keep it down. You want somebody to hear you?
I'm just saying, I'm the one who's making the money, and I have no say-so.
You know what you're saying? Just calm down. You want them to ruin your life? They can do that, you know.
May he bless you and keep you. May he grant you peace. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you all for coming. I'll see you all next week, and please be careful going home.
Excuse me. I can't seem to find these anywhere.
Huh. These books are no longer available.
I didn't know.
May I have your name, please?
Why?
Excuse me.
What did I do?
We just have a couple of questions.
Easy, easy.
Yeah, what was Hard Party said? What if America were Canada? Oh, fuck me. Oh, that's grim. Someone should do like a re-edit. Oh, dude. Okay, right. Funny videos. Now you may remember last show I was talking about the Will Stancil AI struggle snuggle incident. Well, it turns out that Stancil actually went on TV. To like talk about this. Wait, did I play this before? I'm not sure.
Now, a Minneapolis man is threatening legal action after an online chatbot posted disturbing details involving him. In a now deleted post on X, Grok, the app's artificial intelligence chatbot, gave users a detailed plan on how to break into Will Stancil's home and sexually assault him. Joe McCoy spoke with Stancil tonight. Joe?
Well, Julie, this story highlights the disturbing nature of AI when it's not used for good. X's AI chatbot Grok seemingly showing very little restraint, putting Stancil in an uncomfortable and potentially dangerous situation.
I have saved some of the screenshots because they were being deleted.
When Will Stancil woke up on Tuesday,
Just threats.
He never expected the online firestorm that came his way on X.
One thing they like to do is they like to Photoshop me into pictures of Hitler.
Stancil, an outspoken liberal on X, has more than 100,000 followers on the platform and says he's constantly receiving hate messages from far-right users.
It's really hard to ignore thousands of people threatening you.
But what happened in this situation was different. The human users attacking him were being aided by X's own AI chat robot called Grok.
In the past, when they've done this, the chatbot has said, no, I won't do it. Yesterday, because of the changes that Elon Musk made, it suddenly started complying and indulging those requests.
For weeks, X's owner, Elon Musk, had said he was going to rebuild Grok because he was unsatisfied with some of its answers. On Tuesday, the chatbot began sharing anti-Semitic tropes and praised Adolf Hitler as, quote, history's prime example of spotting patterns in anti-white hate and acting decisively on them. Grok was also now answering hundreds of questions about Stancil with seemingly very few guardrails.
And it really culminated, I think, in one where someone asked how to break into my apartment and rape me, and Grok produced a extensive plan for doing that. In fact, going as far as to say, based on my social media history, when I was likely to be asleep, and giving them advice on how to dispose of my body.
This, in fact, is very disturbing.
Manjeet Rege, an AI expert at the University of St. Thomas, says this is a result of Grok being designed for engagement.
This guy is literally called Manjeet. Oh, God, mate. The jokes write themselves.
Without technical and philosophical discipline.
If you train AI to be edgy without being ethical, it learns to basically walk the cliff edge. And sometimes it just ends up jumping. And this is just one example of that.
Stancil says he did not feel an immediate concern for his safety because of this situation. However, he is considering legal action potentially against Elon Musk and X.
Elon Musk made a policy decision about his product that led it to predictably produce this kind of awful rhetoric and these threats. To me, that's a problem.
Last night, the official Grok Twitter account posted a statement saying in part, quote, "We are aware of recent posts made by Grok and are actively working to remove the inappropriate post." However, so many of these posts were screenshotted, so Stancil says he is worried that this will be something that will live with him forever.
Now, a mini.
Now, Emily Eucas made this. Enjoy. Bruh. Oh, hilarious. Right, we just got some random stuff from Instagram and Telegram. Enjoy.
Guys, I got the Epstein list.
Oh, yeah!
Awesome!
Get that!
Facebook Marketplace.
Oh,
there's a lot of good stuff on there.
Okay, it's a bit redacted, but I bet that's to keep us safe.
Whoa!
Is it a crossword? It's a pedo-themed crossword.
A 7-letter word starts with an H. He rolls and studies black holes. Stephen Hawking. Yes, that's it. No, that's it. That's it.
Whoa, man! There's a laugh.
That's a dead end.
No. Whoa, is that a Where's Waldo?
No, it's a Where's Pedo.
God, there's so many tech CEOs. Ooh, Alan Dershowitz.
Nah, that's just a whale carcass. Oh, look at the flight logs. Look at it. We can't see their names. We only can see what they ordered on the flight. Some guy ordered a turkey sandwich with mustard and a bag of wet carrots.
Bill Gates.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
What else have we got?
Hello, I am a professional Asian that I specialize in failure management. I try to find an artistic expression while healing the physical and emotional damage. Steven, hold this pillow. It look easy to hold the pillow. It's not easy. You move, I whoop in your ass, okay? I never look, I just whoop his ass anyway. The unfairness delivers extra emotional damage. Very effective. Next, we have go get a stick for me to beat you with. Oh, that's gonna hurt like hell. Because Steven's so stupid, he don't know the smaller sticks hurt more. See, the big sticks are just sticks. The smaller sticks are whips. The confusion brings an extra very special psychological damage. Very effective. We have to mention the slipper. You can have slipper unbound in 0.3 seconds. However, the defining trait of the slipper is the long-range capability. This weapon was invented before physics. When we were back in China, you can finesse it through time-space.
What else have we got?
I want to buy a phone, please. 128 gigabytes or 256? 256. White or black? Black. Manual camera upgrade? What's that exactly? It means the camera records when you want it to, as opposed to whenever they want. Oh, upgrade, please. Manual microphone upgrade also? Yeah, of course. Texting upgrade? They can read my texts? Of course, but the upgrade blocks them from texting through your phone. Upgrade. Private screen upgrade? They can see my screen too? Of course, but the upgrade blocks them from displaying anything they want, anytime they want. Upgrade. Satellite fidelity upgrade? What's that? Prevents geo-spoofing of your location. Upgrade. Manual settings upgrade. Upgrade. Wait, that means they can control my settings? Not with the upgrade. Upgrade. Okay, great. So the total is $54,568.03. Whoa, why is it so much? You got all the upgrades. Well, yeah, I don't want it without the upgrades, but that's insane. But without the upgrades, it's only $700. But they can control my phone and surveil me, basically. Okay, I'm just not gonna get a phone. Thank you, though. I'm sorry, sir, but phones are mandatory.
Yeah, about 5 years, I reckon. Oh, there's a whole bunch of these doing the rounds.
She bottles her flatulence to keep her carbon footprint down. She says climate change is killing the coral reef as she lathers on sunscreen and snorkels in the reef. She once chained herself to a tree for the selfie. She said the world would end in 10 years, 30 years ago. She flies to climate conferences, first class. She uses crystals instead of deodorant. She once lectured a starving African boy mining for cobalt, how he is stealing her childhood. She's plant-based, unless someone orders wings. Her armpit hair has dreadlocks. She doesn't have any actual kids, but has adopted 7 Haitian families to come live in your town. Her catchphrase is, "How dare you?" She refuses to drink bottled water unless it's from Coachella. Instead of driving, she runs in Nikes made by Uyghurs in a Chinese concentration camp. She owns 47 tote bags and still forgets to bring them. She gives out bamboo toothbrushes on Halloween. She is the most environmentalist woman in the world.
I don't always drink, but when I do, it's from a coconut I flew in from Bali. Stay reusable, my friends.
This is really good.
Michael, what do you think is more painful, giving birth or getting kicked in the balls?
What's more painful? Childbirth or getting kicked in the balls?
Yes. Which one is more painful?
I would have to say getting kicked in the balls is way more painful than childbirth.
Why?
Well, if you look at just history, well, just think of it. You never see a man get kicked in the balls, and then like a year or two later, he's like, you know what? I'd love to get kicked in the balls again.
You know what, Michael? That does not mean that it's more painful.
But women, they'll do the things like childbirth was the most pain I ever had in my life. Let's do that again.
There's like this amnesia that comes over us, you know, and then we're
you
like,
never forget when you get kicked in the balls. You never forget.
Right, cute animal videos for you all. This guy is smuggling chicks. Concealed cuteness. This dog looks like he's having a hard time, bros. This is crazy. Amazing. Husky versus Parrot. Aw. What else have we got? Bouncing Samoyed. Oh man, they're so cute. What else have we got? A baby palace cat.
Little baby, pretty little baby, you say that maybe you'll be.
These are a bit too short. This is just crazy.
Open up the door, can you open up the door? I know you said before, you can't cope with anymore. You told me it was war, said you'd show me what's in store. I hope it's not for sure, can you open up the door? Open up the door, can you open up the door? I know you said before, you can't cope with anymore.
Okay, weird. Music cuts out. There's some bad editing. And our final cute animal video of the night. Mondays.
Come here. Come here. You almost did. Oh my god. One more step. You got it. Whee!
That's the end of the show. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. Let's say goodbye to the chat. On Rumble, Mikey Bikey, Seti Sapiente, Orident Party, Captain Crisps, Is the Eunuch, I think, is already left. Mick Zen, Crispy13, Full Short. Anybody else I have forgotten? I think that... Oh, and Total Blackout Painting, of course. Good to see you, mate. I think that's everybody on Rumble. Mixen, did I mention Mixen? I'm not sure. Well, if you got twice. On YouTube, Cyberchat Internal Affairs, 007, Tree Godfather, user has been banned for naughty words, Victorian Time Traveller, Robert Verlinden, Otto Sturmhart, Tree Godfather, I already mentioned you. It's the heat, mate. It's my doing bad stuff for my brain. CKO, good to see you, CKO. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good space. Lynch Mob, James Cole, Sonny Jim, Anglo-Saxon NWG, Lynch Mob, I think that... Oh, Schrodinger's Gaffney, good to see you, mate. I think that's everybody. And on Odyssey, we had Machine for Baked Beans, and Mixen again. Thank you so much for coming, bros. I'll be on Discord and Dragons in about an hour and a half. Come along. I don't know who's on tonight, but I'm sure it'll be fun anyway. Otherwise, I'll see you on Thursday for more Habbening TV and for probably Gulag Cafe after that. Good night, everyone.